So welcome to this section on how to select the right HRIS for your organisation. In particular, what to look for in your new HR system. And again, this is something you should be looking at once every 3-4 years historically. But if you make the right decision now, the platform you pick is going to evolve with the market, with the capabilities of technology, and with your needs. If you like this kind of content, we very much focus on how organisations can quickly adopt new technologies in a matter of days and weeks, not months and years. Coming up in a second, we're going to talk in a bit more detail about the exact kind of data you'll be looking at. But what's important to understand is why data is important. And this is really how you address and track your progress in your organisation. And data, if you look at it from a goals perspective, is really important because at a top level, you're setting important organisational goals, then it's departmental goals, and then it goes all the way down to individual goals. And without the ability to track that, without the data and the information to track that, then fundamentally you're flying blind. And that's a phrase you're going to hear me use a lot, flying blind, because typically most organizations, especially as they move from using spreadsheets or moving old, legacy HR systems to new ones, are going to understand how easy it is to access data and information compared to what they were running with previously. And again, data is the only way you're going to be able to track progress. And all the research points to the fact that organizations that have got very, very clear roles and responsibilities, where people know exactly why they're at work and what they're there to be doing and what they're going to be measured for, those are the organizations that are the most successful. So, that's the classic hierarchy: progress and results. How are you getting on with it? But, data impacts every single level of your organization, right from individuals who are doing their day-to-day work, the managers who are leading them, and then the organizational leadership. And as I said before, most organizations, even if they've got a great HRIS that hasn't been implemented properly, they're flying blind. And people want accountability. They want to understand what they're expected to do in a way that's, as clear as possible. So this is all driven by data and information that flows out of the right system. And as I say, most organizations do fly blind. And as you grow, as you expand, as you kind of evolve as an organization, the ability to embed this kind of capability right from the start is going to change your growth perspective. It's going to change your accountability. It's going to change your visibility and the ability to change your organization, because without the ability to send messages out and clearly explain what the new goals are, then people are going to react very slowly. And if you're going through sudden changes in your market, that ability to pivot and change and evolve is beyond essential. So data is going to be your godsend. It's going to be something that you're going to learn to live with. It's going to help you power things like AI, as you evolve further. But let's come back to that later. But certain information just needs to be distributed automatically. Reports sent out, information, reminders, etc., etc. And in many ways, these are things that you get used to in your personal life. But when it comes to your business systems, they always feel like 5-10 years out of date. But data without the ability to access it and analyze it is useless. You want it to be simple to access, simple to use, and then the barriers to, the excuses for not using it just drop away. And there's some obvious examples around, sales objectives, sales data that are very, very, measurable. And less obvious is customer satisfaction or employee satisfaction. But, on the one hand, you need to know how to, what data is available, but on the other hand, you need to know what to do with it. And this should be easy. You don't need specific skills to do the analysis. And I think, one of the things that's going to evolve in the market is the ease of use of the data. So historically, you might have needed a specialist, an analyst, someone with a degree in analytics or a degree in big data to actually interpret information. But more and more, this is going to be accessible to every single person in the organization. But for now, you want ease of access, you want ease of use, and you want the power of information that's up to date. So data can look at historical information, but more and more it's also going to start predicting what could happen. The growth of AI, the growth of information that's extracted from the past, leveraged against other bits of information, and then used to predict what's going to happen in your organization. More and more, that's going to be what you're living by. So, retrospective reporting, understanding trends, important, but avoiding future mistakes. This is more and more about where data is going. So this is why we started off this training with focus on data, because it's not just about what's available today, but about where the market's going. And, also have it as a sideline, think about data location when you're looking at your HRIS. compliance of data is really important, but US, Canadian, European rules are kind of what drives the global market. If you're in the UK or other non-EU European countries, they're very closely aligned to the European regulation. So when you're going through the selection process of the right HRIS, where the data is stored is absolutely key. But we're going to talk about more of this when it comes to security further on in the training. But you'll find that the data location and the compliance part is embedded in your agreement with your provider. SaaS models are, very, very powerful for, outsourcing that capability to your provider. But just be aware of the importance of data location and what it means for your legal issues. So next up, we're going to talk about security and what to look for in your new HRIS or your new HR system.